evening, good evening. Who do we have in the building? Good evening, everybody. Just gonna, gosh, I'm so late today. I'm so sorry, guys. Hope everyone is well. Do enjoy the tunes. Hey, Maxine. Hey, Stefan. Hey, CC Saunders. Hey, Jeremiah. Evening, everyone. Evening, Ajwa. Hope everyone is well. Just gonna quickly I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm so, mate, I'm so busted. Like, oh my gosh. But anyway, it's all good. You guys feeling this tune right now, yeah? Just planning the radio show, doing so many different things at one given time. Hey, babe. Can you guys hear me okay? What am I putting the title? Oh, yeah, singles. Talk. Tune. Hey, Renee. What's good, girl? You alright? Rights to the music. So how is everyone doing on this Wednesday? Gosh, I can't believe that the month's almost done already. It just feels like it was Christmas and now we're here. Okay. Hey Glems. Hey Jenny. Hey Shan. Alright, let me just stop this show. Right. I should actually just leave it to play in the background, but I'm not going to do that today. But anyway, how's everyone doing this evening? Everyone doing good? Sorry, giving you the side of my head, but I'm just trying to multitask. Okay. Right, so this is going to be like an open conversation. As if you're new to the platform, this is a platform to inspire. Started to do this singles talk series every Wednesday from 9 to... well, hopefully not too late today because I've got to be up at 6 a.m. in the morning because I've got to be at the gym. My PT is going to be waiting on me. That's why, anyway, it's all good. But, yes, so today's topic, we're going to be talking about, do women need good relationships with their fathers in order to make a good wife? Do men have to have good relationships with their mothers to become good husbands? Now, even though this is singles talk, I thought it may be a good idea to open up for those who are married, because obviously those who are single, we may not see things from a perspective of somebody that's already in that relationship, who's already got that signed contract, that signed contract of being a husband and wife, and they can maybe explore, share a journey. Maybe, Adri, you might want to jump on. I don't know if you're free, up for it. If you look ready, let me know. Rachel, let me know if you are here because Rachel's going to join me. That's one of my girls. She's not even on there. What the heck? What, am I going to have to freestyle? Okay, bear with me one moment. If you do want to jump onto this live, just send me a request. Rachel, you are there. We did have another lady, but unfortunately, she's not well, so she had to drop out last minute, but so it goes sometime. Otherwise, I would have had to try and like do a thing in it, but that's how it goes sometimes. That's how it goes for most things, you know, people, you know, kind of like let you down, and it's not intentional, things happen, so you just got to be prepared for if things happen. Rachel, I actually sent you a request. I just need you to accept it and then you can come on to the live. I think you're there. If you're going to be joining me. Can everybody hear me okay? If you can, could you just give me the thumbs up? Hey, Mr. Riggs, what's going on, bro? Shan, can you hear me okay? Glemma, can you hear me okay? Can you give me the thumbs up, please? Please. Oh, there you are. What a delay.
I just logged out a minute. Right,
what the way you turn up, man? You just turn up in the whole thing like, yo, mate, I want to take off my cap. Listen, it's a hot mess out here, yeah? It's a hot mess. Like, yo, this girl needs to get ahead. But I can't even be bothered. Like, I'm just going on ragga. Like, I literally go to the gym, busted, because my focus is to focus on my body in it and like focus with my mind. I'm not trying to make no eye contact with no brares in there. I'm just trying to go out there and just do what I've got to do. So I just go there, beat up, my hair's not even combed, just about wash my face, brush my teeth, and that's how I go to the gym. It's a bit gangster, but you know.
I hear that.
Can you hear me? You sound a bit low.
Do I sound low?
Yeah, you do a little bit. Maybe it's just my earring.
Okay, my speaker's a little bit, yeah, had a little accident with my speaker, but let's try.
Can everybody hear Rachel, first and foremost? Yeah? Okay, let's go straight in it. If I can't, I'm just going to have to get my headphones and plug it in wherever they are.
That's fine.
All right, so as you know, we've been doing a series on singles talk. The first week was talking about loneliness during a pandemic, how you've been coping with it. The second one, which was last week, we were speaking about, goodness gracious me, we was talking about friendships. You know, did it expose certain friendships? Was your friends, was your family there for you during a pandemic, etc., etc.? That's what we explored last week. So I kind of like put it out there, ask the question, what topics would people like to be discussed during a singles talk? Because I kind of want this platform to be open to the public. And I've got loads of responses and I just had to really narrow it down. But all of those other feedback, we will be exploring them over the forthcoming weeks. So guys, even though you did give that feedback and we may not be doing that topic today, please do not feel that we won't be touching on it, because we will in the near future. But for this evening, we are going to be looking at 2 questions, and I potentially think they're going to lead into other questions, Rachel. If you can just let those who are on the live know a bit about yourself, who you are, your status, and yeah, what you do, etc.
Yeah, so yeah, my name's Rachel Grant, and basically, my history, obviously, with relationships, I was married. I made it to 15 years. We've made it to 15 years. I'm now semi-single-ish, something like that. Yeah, well, I'm now single, yeah, single status, and basically, I've seen both sides. So obviously, I've been single for 3.5 years. And was married for 15, so that's my history and take on sort of why I picked the husband that I did, see my relationship. When I saw this topic, I thought, I think that I may have some input on it.
How long was you married for, if you don't mind me asking?
15 years.
How many years?
15.
15.
15 years.
Hold on a second. 15 years. How old are you? Like, mate, you look as if you're... Say it again?
I'm 38.
Oh wow, you look boom, man. I was gonna say you look as if you're about 28. I didn't understand when you said 15. That's why I had to ask you to repeat. But you know what they say about black don't crack. One second, guys.
Definitely. True.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Adam?
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfect now, because I was really struggling to hear you, but now I just had to plug in my headphones.
Oh, people can't hear me. I literally can't hear. Shan said she can't hear. Adjua said it's low. No one can hear me.
Jeez.
No one can hear me. I think my speaker's a bit dodge. So I don't know if I can shout or, you know.
If Rachel shouts, can you guys hear? But you can't be shouting throughout the whole conversation. That's not really going to work,
though. My voice, Kaz.
Listen, I'm not even trying to do that out here. Can you guys still not hear Rachel? Maybe if you get headphones. Have you got any like headphones that you can plug in?
Headphones, you know.
Oh shoot!
Would this work on the Mac?
No, because you're doing a live. So what it is with the laptop, you can't actually do a live. You can watch a live, but you can't actually participate in a live on the Oh jeez!
I've got another phone. I can try my other phone for you.
How long is that going to take?
Yeah, log out and then come back a bit later then.
Yeah, okay then. All right, yeah, if you can do that, and then I can see if anybody wants to jump onto the live, and yeah, let's get started on a conversation.
I'll come on the other phone in a bit and we'll see if we can.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Thank you so much, because it's not going to work if people can't hear you.
Definitely not, no.
All right, cool. All right, does anybody want to jump onto the live? while Rachel gets sorted, because Rachel can join in the conversation shortly. Actually, are you at all? Let me put on my supported frames, even though they look a bit blurry. Hey, Maxine. Let me see if Adjoa is free. Da, 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 da. I just jumped off to see if it was me, but Kaz, you're loud and clear. Yeah.
Girl, you got
Hey,
me.
girl.
Girl, I'm
What?
walking home from the shop.
Okay, well, it's all
You
good
got me
because
walking home. Can you hear me?
of course, I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear. Can you guys all hear?
Loud and clear.
Yes, yes.
Let me know if
Praise.
you can hear me. If it's too much,
Yeah.
if it's too much background noise. What you saying, girl?
Okay, so the
Out here in these
question.
streets looking cute.
Well, you know how you do. You know how we do.
No, I'm saying you.
Me, I'm looking cute, mate. You don't see it. Girl needs to get anyway. Let's not even break up the thing, yeah. So the questions that
Huh?
we've got for today's show, is: do women need good relationships with their
Girl,
fathers in
please.
order to be a good wife, and vice versa
Ooh,
for a man?
Sherry. Ooh, Sherry. Well, I'm
Mm,
actually a product of not having a father figure to the
mm-hmm,
degree of knowing my dad in, I know my dad, X, Y, and Z, but, I'm a great wife
of course.
and I didn't have him in my life. But I will say this, having young girls and watching their interaction with their dad, watching how they have valued themselves, how they've grown. I would say male input is important in a young woman's life. I do think that. And I'm not going to say I don't think that. I do really believe that because I just know that there are certain things that I think a father can teach a daughter that mothers can't. And I think that being able to see whether your mother and your father are together or whether your father is in another relationship, I think being able to see how a man should love a woman, how a man should respect a woman, how a man should protect a woman and his family, I think that that's a powerful statement. I think it's a powerful thing. And so I say this, to be a good wife, I've been a good wife because, for me personally, God has really kind of helped me and given me the ability to do that. And also I've had a husband who's been very understanding, very patient. But then when I look at my girls and I look at their relationship with their dad, I thank God that they have their father in their life, because any man that comes to them has to come correct. Like, you can't just
Mm,
come with business. You can't just come with your, your willy-nilly side walking, side talking foolishness. Now, don't get me wrong. Mistakes happen, things happen, relationships
mhm.
happen. But I also feel like when you do have that relationship with your father, I feel like a good relationship, let me say good, healthy relationship with your father. Let me say that, because a lot of people that have relationships with their fathers that may not be healthy. But I think when you have a good, healthy relationship with your father, I think it does help.
Yeah.
I
But
do.
there's something you said earlier in terms of there's certain things that a father can teach his daughter.
Yeah.
Can you expand a bit more in regards to what those things could potentially be?
The game. A lot of the times, fathers can teach daughters the game. What
Right.
men actually, the game that they're playing. When to know when a man is a man and when a man is a boy. how to be loved by a man, how to, because I was raised in New York. I was raised by a single mom, so I come
Can
from a
I just
very
stop you
go,
just there for 1 minute?
go
Because
ahead.
those who I've joined may not necessarily know you. And
Oh,
I'd even ask you to introduce yourself or what you do, etc. So I think it makes sense if we go back there so people can at least know who you are. That will help. Good, Kaz. But yeah, and then we can go back to that point about you, where you grew up in New York.
yeah, definitely. So, oh, look at me dropping all my stuff. So hi guys. For those who don't know me, my name is Ajua, and I am a mother. I'm a wife. I'm a minister. All those kind of wonderful things. I run something called Buy. Look at me. I've fully gotten a filter because I was walking looking crazy.
Seriously, is this how you? Is this how you going? Hold on a second. You just came from street and you just sitting down there like a glam queen. Like, yo, is this how people do things out here? Okay, all right. Going back to BYE, which stands for.
Be yourself exquisitely, boo. So,
Okay,
it, go ahead.
and you can tune in with you. What
Every
days?
Monday, 5 o'clock, we kind of just interview amazing women. I'm trying to get Kaz on, but she keeps ducking me. But it's okay. I'm gonna
No,
get
no, no,
her.
no, 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 no. All right, we're gonna
Yeah,
talk.
yeah, we
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
talk. Yeah,
Oh,
uh-huh.
yeah. Mhm.
So
Right.
yeah, so so I've been, for those who don't know, I've been married for 23 years. Um, and
23.
23 years. It'll be 24 years this year that I've been married to my husband.
How do you guys do it? I'm gonna keep it real. I have not been in a relationship for like a proper 2 years in my whole 40 something years of living so far.
Okay.
So when I hear people saying 23 and Rachel saying 15, I'm just baffled, because then it makes me think, is there something wrong with me why I can't even keep in a long-term
No,
relationship?
no. And I think that's such an interesting space that people kind of think, what's wrong with me? For me to not be able to be in a relationship that long. I said to my son the other day, because my son's been dating his girlfriend for a little while. And I said to
Hmm.
my son the other day, it's very interesting that when you find that person that makes you want to do better
Hmm.
and be better and grow, you'll know. And so I would just say to you, you just probably haven't found the right person yet, boo. Because
Well, he ain't found
because let me,
me.
or he ain't.
He ain't found me.
Oh, you better talk. You better let me
He
know.
ain't found, because I ain't looking at here. I'm
That
just
what we talking about? You know what it is.
You don't hear me. I go to the gym and I go there crusty on purpose.
Girl, listen, because if you don't like me in my crusty stage, you don't deserve me in my fly and beautiful stage. How about that?
Come on now. Come on now.
How about that? But
Come on.
no. So yeah. So like I said, I've been married for 23 years.
Hmm.
And like I was saying, I grew up in New York, grew up with my mom, single mother. And in doing that and living that life, I grew up very independent. I don't need you. That was my
Right.
mindset. Literally, I was just like, I don't need you. It was that. And I truthfully never thought I would get married. Marriage was never something that I was looking for. I wasn't the little girl dressing up and getting ready to be married. That wasn't me. I wasn't looking at, oh, I'm gonna have kids, I'm gonna have this many kids. Was never that person, ever. And
Mm.
then I met my husband. And, so even with the question of what you've been asking, I have not had a good relationship with my dad at all. Like I have three other siblings, well, four other siblings, three of them that like live with him and that he's kind of bona fide with. But throughout my whole life, I've never had him. I have a father figure that I know that's in America. He lives in Vegas, and he's probably the closest thing that I would call to a dad. But once
Right.
him, once him and my mom broke up, I kind of came over here. Do you know what I mean? We kind of reconnected later on in my years and kind of brought that kind of relationship back up. But I've been the girl that didn't know anything about fatherhood and what it meant to have a father, what it meant to have affirmations from your father figure actually speaking into your life and speaking to you as a young woman and letting you know. Because I think that one of the things that we're doing, especially in this society and in this time, is we are neglecting the voice and the power of the voice of our parents, the power that our fathers and our mothers have in our lives. And so, you know, when I was being married to my husband, like I was saying, thank goodness, you know, when you get into a relationship like marriage, there is so much room to grow. There's so much grace to grow. And so I don't necessarily say you need to have a father in your life to be a good wife. I don't say that.
Right.
But I do say having a father in your life really brings a different dynamic and a different perspective, because like I was saying, when I look at my husband, I look at my girls, I see a dynamic that I sometimes like, wow, that's beautiful that they can have this relationship. That's beautiful that the first man, like I remember my middle girl, Shiloh, for the longest time was like, I'm marrying my dad. Like my dad is my husband.
Right.
I am
Wow,
marrying
that's
him.
beautiful.
You know, that used to now it's a whole nother matter. It's like, whatever. No, no, she still loves her dad. She still loves her
But
dad.
even the fact that she's even said that, I mean, that's so beautiful, because I don't really hear I've never heard anybody say that, to be quite honest. So that's really quite surprising. But obviously he set such a solid foundation for her to feel like my dad is everything.
Yeah. And I think that that's a space that we do miss. I think that father-daughter space is something that we shouldn't neglect. And for me, I wish more men would step up, especially in the life, because we talk a lot about men being the lives of their sons, but I really think that we negate the power of a father-daughter relationship. I really do think that we negate
because
that.
it's so important. It's so important. And it's even going back to what you were saying in terms of the father teach them the game. You understand what I'm saying? Because I remember when I first met up with my uncle, who lives, my dad's younger brother, and he lives in Atlanta. And he's got his daughter. And the way I see my cousin running up my uncle, he's doing this, he's doing the most for her. And he said, you know the reason why I do this? Because I don't want no knucklehead boy to come and do no stupidness. I'm setting an example of what a man is supposed to be to my child.
I love that.
He proper set that foundation. And when you see him, he's just like a humble dude. You get what I'm saying? You wouldn't even expect this from this Jamaican man, but he sees that he has to set that foundation. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But another question I wanted to ask you. So what do you think in regards to sons having a healthy relationship with their mothers as well? Because again, you know, there is men out there that do not necessarily have a good relationship with their mothers, and unfortunately they don't know how to treat the queens out here. You understand what I'm saying? And I do think vice versa, same way like how we have daddy problems, men have mommy issues.
Listen here, girl, I really feel like that is another, like you said, another conversation. I feel like, you know, I tell people all the time, you want to know how he's going to treat you? Watch him and his mama. Watch him and his mama, because he learns how to treat a woman from what is happening in his household. And so if he has a household where the dad is dominant and, you know, the dad's whatever he says goes and rah, 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 and that's how that situation is being brought, that's what you're going to receive. And a lot of the times we don't do, and I think that let me say this, I think that we don't do enough homework to really, we don't do enough homework. That's why you need to come on my show, Kaz. I don't know why you
I'm coming, man. I'm coming.
Anyway.
17 people, you guys heard, I am coming.
Yes, right.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I don't think that we do enough homework.
Yeah.
To really see what does this relationship and what will it look like? Because a lot of the times, Kaz, like I say all the time, love is blind. Marriage and long-term relationships will be your eye opener. They will open your eyes to the foolishness that you have just allowed. I'm gonna give you a great example. My husband is the baby of the family. I love my husband to bits. Let me tell you, one of the biggest problems for me was I was raised as an independent woman. Listen to me. listen, I was 7 years old. I knew how to cook. I knew how to clean. I knew how to take myself to school. I knew, listen, because my mom was working 2 jobs.
So you had to be independent.
Sis, had to be.
Right.
So when my mom came home, she expected that I had already eaten, done my school stuff, and been in bed because we would miss each other. So she had to train me from a very young age on how to take care of myself. Then you fast forward however many years, I meet my husband, who is the baby of the family, who doesn't have to do anything because his mom, and my husband loves laughing at me, but I always tell the story. His mom was cutting, my husband was getting his food cut up until the age of 10 years old. His mom would cut his food for him. Y'all, talk to
You
me.
know, I was doing that 10. Mate, you better know I was seasoning up food and cooking rice and all that.
Sister.
Hold on, cutting.
At 10 years old, you give me a shopping list. I knew how to go to the shop. I knew how to go to the supermarket and do the shopping for the week. What are you talking about? Cutting food. What are you talking about?
So hold on, cutting food and feeding at the same time?
No. Just cutting this food. Just cutting this food. Not feeding. Come on now. That's a
running
bit
jokes, pastor. Pastor, I'm running jokes. Don't come for me. Don't come for me, pastor. I beg. Yeah.
And so when I'm dealing with this, I haven't done my homework. And so one of the biggest things that we had to deal with, and I know I've kind of gone into marriage, but I'm talking about homework. We had to deal with independent living and interdependent living. And if I had done my homework on what his life looked like with his mom, because obviously his mom passed away when he was 17. So there was a lot of stuff that I didn't get to see. But if I had done a little bit more homework, I would have been right. Someone said he was living a good life.
You're damn right. He was living a good life. He was living the best life. Listen, that's what he was.
He was living his best life. That's what he was doing. And so I had to do the homework. But because I hadn't been able to see what his relationship was like with his mom, I kind of went in with a blind spot kind of. So I really feel like we have to do our homework. Listen, even though we know I'm in a relationship with him, he's in a relationship with me, you do marry family. Why? Because you marry traits, you marry habits, you marry what they trained them to do, what they haven't trained them to do. That's what you take in. When you have this relationship with this person, you are taking in everything that they have learned from their family. You've taken in everything that they've learned on how to treat a woman through how they treat their mom, how to treat a man through how their dad has, how to love a man through how their dad is loved. So if you've never seen your mother loved and taken care of and showered and romanced and built, protected, if you've never seen that, you're not going to really know how to do that. You're going to have to learn. And a lot of the times, why sometimes our relationships don't work is because we are learning in the process how to love each other because we've never seen it before.
Yeah. But you see, with that, so would you say that it will be a good opportunity to maybe explore getting some like therapy, getting some counseling, etc., whilst you're in the marriage? Because I feel like there's so many broken people out there. Even before, you know what I mean? But even when you think about, all right, you know, like obviously I was a part of your church and everything else, but even with people doing, you know, like obviously you would do like premarital counseling, right? And I will hear from some guys, they'll be like, Liz, I ain't having nobody telling me what to do or asking me questions, etc. But then you go marry this dude, and we're getting a divorce.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Not trying to be red, but I'm keeping it real out there. You understand what I'm saying? But it's like, because we don't, you know, like you said, do your homework. Like I always say, this is what I learned from church, dating is to collect data, you're on a research, like you are doing research. You understand what I'm saying? I remember there was a situation, not going to expose no names, and pastor brought me into the office about it, and I said, Pastor, can I ask you a question? You know you teach me this certain way, but who's paying for marriage? Like, how can I be saying to this dude that me and you's going to get married? Like, bro, you don't have a job. Right back now, certain things is not in its place. So how could we be looking at marriage when you can't even buy me ice cream. You understand what I'm saying? No disrespect. But
Kaz,
that's
don't
in
finish me.
research. No, but that's in research. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because there's so many guys out there that's trying to, like, they're hitting on gal and they don't have, I'm not saying it's all about money, women, I'm not saying that. But if you're going to step to a queen, at least have some kind of creativity,
Have
have
something.
some kind of, have something.
Have something.
But be honest as
But
well.
listen, okay, but let me ask you this, and this is the point. Like I'm act like I'm interviewing you, but this is the question, and this is the space that we're looking at it from. Going back to your main question, how many of us have seen that? Have seen the father just lazing and like, you know what, the wife is going to do it on, and the mom is carrying a million burdens as well as trying to deal with everything else. So all a lot of the young women know are lazy men and mothers that do it all.
Well, you see, this is a thing for me in my household. My
Oh,
household was
I already
kind
know
of different.
I know your house.
You
Listen,
see,
I know mom and dad.
My dad was a grafter. Like, my mum's been living it up, innit? Like, obviously there's been some ups and downs and everything else, but my dad is always been the man that he was the providing. He's always been the provider. You understand what I'm saying? So for me, when I'm meeting guys and they don't even know how to even, like, they don't even know how to put a light into the light bulb, I don't understand.
You're gonna crack me up.
That doesn't make no sense to me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's the basic things.
It's that part.
The
But let me
basics.
listen to this though, and this is the part that I needed help with, because the craziest thing was I learned how to do all of that. So it was almost like like my husband marrying me wasn't a problem because I knew how to do that, and I don't mind showing you how to do that. But my other question is, how many young women have had fathers that have been emotionally absent? So now you don't even know how to really emotionally open up to a man in that sense. And that was a lot of my situation, where it was like, I've got that covered, but the emotional side, I don't even know what that looks like. How do you speak to a man? Because all you're taught is men don't talk, men don't communicate, men don't da 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 da. And then you walk into this thing and then you're kind of like, so that's what I'm saying. Healthy relationships with fathers, healthy relationships with mothers, I really believe help formulate a space where you can start talking. Like even now, I am forcing my 18-year-old son to talk to me. I force him to, like, I call him and I force him to speak to me about his emotions, to speak to me about things that he's going through. I text him, I say, how's this going? Let's talk. Why? Because I know his wife at one point, his girlfriend that he's with now, there's going to be a point that they need communication. And if he doesn't know how to open his heart to a woman, the safest place for him to open his heart is to his mother, because I've got his back 24/7. The safest place for a young woman to open her heart should be to her father. Because you should have her back 24/7. So I should know how to be vulnerable with a man that loves me. I should know how to be vulnerable with a woman that loves me. And I think that a lot of the times, these conversations, these moments, these relationships aren't healthy, so we aren't producing healthy relationships. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Glemma just put it, a lot of mothers are to blame too, because they sometimes favor their sons more than their daughter, which I totally agree. Like in my household, I'm like the Braxtons, isn't it? I'm like Tony, there's 5 girls, my brother is the 6th child, yeah? But his relationship with my mum is so different. Do you know what I'm saying? And as well as with my dad. But even going back to what you were saying in terms of the emotional side of things, that was something that I lacked. We lacked that as girls. We lacked that. We didn't get that. But saying that, my dad wasn't shown that. And this is the thing, and this is the generational
now
thing.
let's talk about
because
it.
That's why I had to do my research to understand, why does my mum go on like this and why does my dad go on like this? Because once I understand that, then I stop having this expectation from them, and I'll be like, okay, boom, no one didn't show them, so what am I going to do with it?
Boom. And that's the space that I think we all grow and mature to, where like there was a moment in my life where I was like, really, I was angry with my mom because, you know, my story is so much like yours, Kaz. You know, we molested when we were younger, X, Y, and Z, all this kind of foolishness. Never really kind of experiencing the love that we really thought like this is what love looked like. But I remember one day, I can't remember how, I think I might have been about 22, 20, no, I might have been about 24. And I remember I was just ranting, like I was vexed because I was just like, I don't know how to, I'm trying to deal with this marriage. I'm trying to deal with these kids. I don't know how to focus. My mom never taught me this. And in that moment, I really got this sense that God was like, she couldn't teach you what she didn't know. And the minute he said that, Kaz, I cried and I released her. And I said, my God.
Yeah.
Now that I had to just release her, and I had to release her from it. And I was like, okay, now let me learn. Let me, watch this. Let me unlearn what I've learned. And now let me learn how to be not perfect, but how to learn to grow, to mature in who I was called to be. Even in the stance with my dad, like my dad is a different situation because I'm kind of like, I don't know how, because he doesn't really want a relationship in that sense, but I kind of had to just say, I have to let this go. I've got to learn that what he did or didn't do or couldn't do shouldn't hinder who I am. Now, don't get me wrong. I know it frames us. And I know a lot of the times it builds walls and it builds cities and it builds this whole thing in our life that sometimes it's hard to knock down. But I want to say to someone, this is the space where you have to start knocking it down. You got to stop allowing what they didn't know, what they couldn't do.
You're talking to me.
But we've got to really get to the space where we are no longer bound by their actions or lack thereof.
Yeah. And the thing is, as soon as you do that, you're free.
Oh, girl.
You're free to be you. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
girl,
you're so free on so many levels. Because one of the things I will say about myself, and I can only talk about myself because I'm only me, is that I've allowed certain things that has happened in my childhood to have an effect on, you know, opportunities that's come my way, refusing it, etc., because of doubt, confidence, etc., luggage, baggage, everything, suitcase, everything that I've been carrying like a rucksack that don't want to come to my back. You know, them ways there. But what I'm saying is that I've like you going back to what you were saying in terms of unlearning. But you have to take that time, and I do believe it's about getting therapy.
Yes.
I'm back in the Bible. I'm not even, listen, you see them prayers that we was doing in Bible school. Listen, I've been doing that for like constantly you know, they say it takes 21 days to make a habit. Listen, I said, yo, I need this back in my life.
Yeah.
We're on week 3. So the habit is now changing. Everything is transforming. But you know something? I will say this. Prayer is the one. Trust me. And you've got to be specific about your prayer as well. But what I will say is that how it's a journey, and we're all on our individual journey, and we're so broken. But the way that we can be healed is really to seek counsel. It is really just spend, and especially in this pandemic time that we're living in, I don't even see it as a pandemic. I see this as reset. It's a retreat for you to meet you.
Drop the mic. Drop the mic.
No, but it's a retreat for you to really meet you. And if you put yourself surrounded by the right people, you understand what I'm saying? People's going to tell you about you. You can't be having people that's going to show up and be all nice and nice. Yo, listen, that's not cutting for self-growth. I'm just
listen to me. I got some people around me, like, there's like, number one, I do therapy. Like, I have my therapy session on Saturday because I just believe that there's just things that you have to unpack in your life. You have to unpack it. You have to be willing to unpack it. Listen, there's got to come a day when you stop blaming everyone for where you are.
You are where you are because of your thoughts, and what you confess out your mouth is where you are.
Boom, boom. So we have to take accountability. And yes, like I said, I do understand the connection between mothers, fathers, and your life and what you're doing. But I also realize just because I've lived it and because I've been there, I also realize my divine responsibility, my divine actions, the things that are in my power to change and make sure that they don't replay and repeat. That's on me. Do you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
on me.
Yeah.
What I produce, what I'm doing next. It's not on my mom. It's not on my dad. Like, you know, there was a moment, Kaz, and this is real talk. You know me, I'm 100. I don't play that game.
Mm-hmm.
There was a moment, even when I was going to Dubai and when I was going to do some of the things outside of ministry that kind of were edifying and just, you know, to kind of build what God was telling me to build. Kaz, I remember there was a moment that I broke down because I would see my dad. This is real talk, guys. Like, I'm 110. I would see my dad. This is years ago, but I was at the beginning of what I was doing. I would see my dad post my little sister stuff. Like, so she was doing sort of similar sort of things. He would post her, repost her, invite people, turn up, help her out, rah, rah, rah. I mean, even to the point that my dad helped my siblings purchase homes and do all this kind of stuff while living in the same town as me. And so there was just moments in my life that I was just kind of like, okay, so what about like, what? Hello?
Well, see me.
What am I chopped liver? Like, what's going on? You know? But in that moment, there was a space where God was like, baby girl, you have to stop giving these people, even though it's your father, you have to stop giving them so much power over your future and over who I've called you to be. Yes, it was messed up. Yes, it hurt you. Yes, you were upset. Yes, you would have liked it to be different. But guess what? You are still you. The things that I've called you to do are still real. Who you are is still amazing, regardless of the actions of someone who didn't understand why you were here. You're not here, and this is what God had to say to me. You're not here because your mom and dad wanted to have a good time. You are here because I purposed you to be here. And because I purposed you to be here, you will accomplish everything I told you to do, with or without them.
Come on.
And
But
so
you know what's so beautiful about what you're saying? And even though I am saddened by that, but your story, no, but seriously, hear me. Your story now allows you to be able to connect to other people that understands that pain, gone through that, because if we all had this perfect life, can you imagine what this world would look like?
Girl. Listen, perfect is a myth.
Boring.
Perfect it'd be way boring. And like I tell people all the time, perfect is a myth. Stop running for perfection. Stop looking for perfection, because it's a myth. No one is perfect. Not one of us. We are all growing. You know, I read this post the other day that blessed my soul. The post said, people are flawed. Full stop. Some people are severely flawed. Full stop. And then it said, listen, hello. But then it said this: people aren't toxic. Situations are toxic. Flawed people can make toxic situations, but people themselves aren't toxic. So a flawed person can make a relationship toxic, can make a culture toxic, can make a workplace toxic, but the person themselves isn't toxic. They're just severely flawed. So my thing was this: if a flawed person sees a severely flawed person, how can the flawed person tell the other person that they're bad, that like, oh, you're not worth it? Because we both flawed. It's just the fact that you might be a bit more severe than me.
Yeah. Just in that particular area. I'm maybe more flawed in another area.
That part.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's like you got your strengths and your weakness.
So, girl, listen. The question is a great question. The question is a great question, and I think that there are attributes to it. And what my prayer is that, you know, as we build the relationships with people that we know are long lasting, that are healthy, that we get to the space where we can really communicate and have healthy dialogue, healthy conflict resolution, healthy moments that actually build us instead of ripping us down, and that we find those relationships. So even if it's not with your mom or with your father, but that maybe you have an uncle or you have a mentor, you have a girlfriend, someone that can actually just help you become who you've been called to be. Do you know what I mean? Without sitting and waiting for someone to fix what was broken.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
because the thing is, at the end of the day, I mean, it's just like, you know, when you have a beautiful plate
Yes.
and it breaks,
Yeah.
but you piece it back together and you can still have it there. Do you understand what I'm saying? You may not necessarily be able to eat from it, but you can still look on it. Do you understand what I'm saying? And you can still treasure it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I
But at the
go.
same time, it's like even us, we have so many scars that we wear from all
Yes.
different types of situations. And that's what makes us individual. That's what makes
Yeah.
us unique. And
Yeah.
it's no reason to be so judgmental to another person. But
Yeah.
I do have a problem with, and I will say this, and I may be out of order. I don't really care. It is my platform, but I'm keeping it real. I have a problem when people don't like to take ownership about their mess up. And they try and point finger upon you when they know that they've messed up and they won't accept it. You know, like some people can
Yep.
be delusional
Yep.
and
Yep.
they're not actually seeking help.
Yep.
And there's a lot of us doing that. There's
Yep.
a lot of people out here that are leading people astray, and you haven't even got your own in
Yeah,
order
you
to a
know,
certain
and that,
extent.
yeah, that's the space for me where we are very immature, where we haven't learned maturity. For me, maturity is owning where you are and being okay with it. Like, I tell people, if you can just own it, just own it.
Listen,
There's so much more
that's the
grace.
best thing.
There's so much more grace when you just own it. I was about to say that, Janelle. I was literally about to say that
What
about
you
the
say?
Japanese. The Japanese, when something is broken, what they do is they take gold and they
Oh,
make it back to
repair
bring it
it.
back together, where it's actually stronger than what it was before.
Oh,
I was gonna say that, boo.
that.
But yeah, but it's that space where we have to learn. Like for me, relationships grow when we are accountable. Relationships grow when we are mature enough to be accountable about what we've dealt with and to apologize. And listen to me, this is the thing, you know, when we hide and we deceive and we're dishonest and we what's the word, when we kind of push it back onto the other person, when we deflect what we're dealing with, when we deflect what we're going through, and we're like, well, it's not really me, it's you, that's a sign of
Yeah,
immaturity.
yeah,
That's a sign that you're not trying to grow. Maturity, because this is the thing, if I've done something wrong and I learned from it, listen, I'm a better person.
that's
I'd
it.
rather the mistake come, because and this is the thing. Let me tell you what happens. We live in a society that tells us perfect is what we're striving for. And when you're striving for perfection, you want to hide all your mess ups. When you're striving for perfection, you want to lie. Why do we lie? We lie because we're
Because we
scared
were
that
scared.
if we tell you the truth, you won't love us. If we tell
But
you the truth, you won't accept us. If we tell you the truth, you're going to throw us away. That's why we lie, because we're in this place, like someone's saying, of shame. But my
yeah,
thing is this, when we release that, because we want authentic, real
yeah,
relationships,
yeah.
listen, people will come around you that can handle who you are.
Yeah. And that's the key thing, because it's like we're always trying to run away from being who we are. Like when me and Janelle went on holiday, yeah, I'm going to put myself out there. I went on holiday. I said to Janelle, I'm just keeping it real, yeah. I can be miserable. I can be proper moody. I'm just letting you know. I get moody in it. So she knew when I wasn't really that moody, was I, Janelle? I don't think I was. But when I did go on a bit funny, Kaz already gave me the warning. But I had to explore that about me to know how I am. You know what
Sis.
I'm saying? Not saying that I'm okay with it, but I'm just letting people know, because I don't want
I'm
them to feel
growing through it.
uncomfortable. I'm going through what I'm going through. So please understand, this is not about you, but this is something that I do, and I'm a work in process about
And
this
I'm
whole thing.
growing and I'm growing. But this is the point that, you know, I tell people all the time, why we have relationships that sometimes don't work is exactly like what you just said, Kaz. We don't know ourselves. And when we don't know ourselves, we present a falseness. We present a mask. We present the best part of us because we don't really know. And a lot of the times, what good and real relationships need is they need your honesty. So I need to know, what do you like when you're hungry? What do you like when things don't go your way?
Listen, you don't
What
even
are
want to
you
talk to
like
me when
when
I'm
you wake
hungry.
up in the morning and you've had a bad day? What do you
Yeah,
like Are you selfish? Are you just selfish? Are you
Yeah.
what is going on in you? Because I think when we start to actually give people the tools on how to be in a relationship with us, we will find our relationships will go a lot longer and a lot stronger. Like I have
But
some people in my life that know me. Like when I say they know me, it's like, okay, Aj, I got you. And there's no skipping a beat. There's no upset. There's no offense because we've been open and real about what's really
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah, yeah. But you see, in order for that to happen, you have to invest.
Oh,
You have
girl.
to invest in a relationship. And I think this is another thing as well, that how, because this is what we were talking about last week as well, because we were talking about the different types of friendships. You know, you've got the acquaintance, you've got the friends, and you've got the close friends, and you've got the BBF friends and all that kind of stuff. But in order for that to get to that level, there's a process. Not everybody that's on your Instagram, your social media, is your friend.
Listen, Kaz, you already know because
some
we've done,
people-
girl. We've
Bible
done.
school.
Listen,
Bible
I
school.
tell people, let me tell you where your heartbreak comes. And this is for free. Your heartbreak comes when you give someone a position they have not processed through.
And then you're vexed.
Then you're
vexed.
You're allowing acquaintances who haven't even proved that they can keep a secret
With information.
to become your close brethren.
Closest friend.
And then you're vexed when they take your business out on street and you're like, how could she do that to me? What do you mean? You didn't even know her.
But this is the accountability.
Boom.
You have to take responsibility of your own action. And if you don't, the lesson's going to continue to repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat until eventually you get it.
Boom. And then, so you can't turn around and be vexed with her. Like, listen, there's been so many times that I've been like, I can't even be angry with you. Because I'm the fool. I'm the one, me the fool, that said, let me give you my business. And I haven't even allowed you to process through the stages to know that you can watch this, carry me, and I can carry you.
Yeah.
What? Listen, listen, I'm being acquaintance, listen, it's gonna be all right. You're gonna be okay. But I refuse. I would rather have a very small circle than have a million friends, knowing that these million friends can't carry me. I'd rather have 4 crazy friends that I know.
Crazy friends.
The 4 crazy friends that will rip the roof and bring me to Listen.
Oh, child. Oh, mate.
Girl, I'm trying to tell you in these streets. I'm trying to tell you guys. And let me say that, and that works even with relationships.
Yeah.
That works with boyfriend, girlfriend. That works with dating. Like Kaz said, listen, if y'all ain't hear nothing, y'all heard Kaz say data is for dating. And if you don't like the data that you're getting, get out.
Keep on moving. Listen. Listen.
Keep on
Wait, I've been in relationship.
moving.
I've been in relationship, and I've even said to man, I've said, listen, I'm going to extend your probation period. I'm going to extend it because that's the grace that I give, yeah? Because I know God give me grace. I would extend your probation period. If I don't see no difference, that contract is over because I've extended it. So it's not even, it's a temporary thing, innit? So I want to see what you're really about. So I'm going to extend it because I think you're a nice guy, right? But if you're still not coming to what I believe that I want,
Listen,
I know that I deserve,
listen,
and I know what I'm bringing to the table. No.
Listen, and let me say this. Let me just help y'all. Let me help. Let me just help a little bit.
No, help a lot. You don't see, like,
listen,
we're here for a reason, yeah?
Listen, be okay with the standard in your life. Come on, man. Be okay. Listen, be okay with it. Look, I understand. This is my thing. We all bring stuff. You bring it to the table, I'm bringing it to the table. We gonna bring to the table together. But you better be
Listen, you better be prepared to bring something. You understand what I'm saying? But the thing is, this is a problem, and even like when I sent out these questions to what topics that people want us to talk about on the
Yeah.
Singles Talk, I got some responses like, "Where are the good men? Why do men cheat?" Just the usual, typical. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, I don't really want to cross that, because the thing is, but the thing is, there's men out there. Do you understand what I'm saying? But it's just what the problem is for a lot of us as women. I'm keeping it real.
Yeah.
I love a bad man, and God is dealing with me. That's the problem for me. Remember, I said to you earlier,
You know, I love you.
I
This
have
is
a
why
relationship
I
for
love
2
you.
years.
This is why I love you.
Listen, I've always gone for road,
This
man.
is why I love you.
But God is delivering me from that. That's why I've been single for a little while now. But at the same time, it's like, I can't expect this man to be dealing with me in a certain way when I already know what this guy is about, because you see the movement, etc. You know, like, do you want that lifestyle? But if you want that lifestyle, expect it to be situations and situations and situations. But then there's certain guys out there that is nice. When I say nice, they may not necessarily be my kind of looking kind of brothers, but they will look after me. But mate, God is still working on me. Hopefully I'll get delivered real soon.
And you know what? Let me say this though. What I want us to do, and hear me when I say this, what I want us to do as
Hello? Hold on. Have I frozen, or is Adwa frozen? Can you guys still hear me? Oh, Wi-Fi is a liar. Can you guys still hear? Is it me frozen?
I want a road man, I want a man, X, Y, and Z.
You
are
froze.
saying I want
I
a man
used to.
who. Oh, go
I
girl.
used to.
Why though? Tell me why.
Why? Why do I not want a road man?
No, why did you? Look at this.
Because
This is a
why
whole
did
other conversation.
No, I know
Why
this is
are
a
we
different
even
conversation.
here?
I know, but this is how it goes. This is singles talk. We open up, we go different places. The reason why I liked, why I actually was attracted to roadman is because I didn't love myself.
Ooh.
I didn't know how to love myself. I didn't think I didn't have no form of standard for myself.
That's so
I didn't
good.
value myself. Do you understand what I'm saying? And
That's
because
so
I didn't
good.
value myself, I kept on attracting the same kind of brothers, just in different format, different shape, different face, different shades, etc. But it was always the same kind of guy.
And so that's the space where you are allowing yourself to welcome in these kind of people instead of actually putting up, I think Janelle said it earlier, putting up the boundary and saying, nope, that's not good for me. Nope, that's not good for me. Because I think one of the things that we need to understand as well is, I think one of the spaces that I think that when I hear women say bad man, when I hear women say, what I hear and what I interpret is protector. Someone that can keep me safe. Someone that will provide for me. And hear why I'm saying that. Hear why I'm saying that. Because when you think about it, I know you're not going in there looking for a relationship that's going to rough you up and duff you up.
But I've been in relationships.
No. Yeah, no. Listen, you've been, no.
But
I'm not saying that. That's what I'm saying. You're not seeking. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying you're not going out seeking that.
No. But what I will say, because of the, like they say, what you put out there is what you're going to attract, isn't it?
I hear that.
If you don't carry yourself in a certain way, guess what? That man already know I'm going to get peace.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I can do what X, Y, Z. I can just say X, Y, Z. You know, like what you're saying about the game.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So when you don't know, even though you may not necessarily know about the game, but you value yourself, then man, they can't come step to you. But when you don't have no boundaries, you don't value yourself, you don't see yourself as anything more than just a look or whatever, that's how man's going to deal with you. It's the same way even with a man, with being with a woman. If a woman's going to be talking to you like you're some kind of my boy or look at idiot and tell you to, just cussing you, whatever, listen, you're setting the tone to how that woman
Oh, definitely.
And that's the same thing with a woman, with a man. You know what I'm saying?
110%. And I definitely hear you on that. I totally hear you on that. But the thought process that I'm thinking of is But because like from what you're saying to me is, then you don't really want a bad man.
No, but the thing is, at
But
the
but
time,
yeah, at the time. So
at
as
the
you're
time, but
working,
I'm a learning now
you're
that no,
unlearning. Yes,
that's
yes.
not what you need, baby. Because them bad man, they can't do that for you apart from make you go to Isle of Wight, go camping, go scrubs and all them places. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you done the crime, you know, you're doing the time with man on man. And then listen,
Listen.
mate, I've been through a lot, like a lot of us
Yeah,
out
yeah,
here.
yeah,
We've
yeah,
got
yeah,
stories,
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? But what I will say is, especially to women that may be in certain kind of relationship with certain kind of guys, if you don't want to do time and you didn't do the crime, you need to step,
Let
because
me
you won't be
ask you
doing
a
the time with
question.
that.
Let me ask you a question, and this is real. Do you feel like, and I know this is I've flipped the script again, but do you feel like your relationship with your dad had anything to do with the
You don't even need to finish up the question. Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, because if your father is supposed to be like you were saying about your girls with their
yeah,
dad, yeah? That's their hero. That's the person that, you know, "Oh, my dad is amazing, you know, you're proud and everything else." But if your dad is the
yeah,
one, you know, and I've gone through a lot, and my dad was my first abuser. You understand what I'm saying? My dad was my
yeah,
first abuser, like a lot of us has had our first abusers, which was our parents, because obviously due to slavery, the way that we've been taught how to, you know, punish our children is it's different levels. You understand what I'm saying? And I went through that because I was the eldest. You understand? But because I went through that as the eldest, I was damaged. I was
yeah.
damaged. Do you understand what I'm saying? So by the
Wow,
time I'm out of the house by 17, mate, it's God that protected me. I'm blessed that how the guy that I was in a relationship with, it could have been worse, but it wasn't that bad. Even though it
wow,
was so bad, but it wasn't that bad. I mean, there was a
wow,
time when I was trying to go to work, the guy will lock me on his balcony and tell me, "You're not going to work."
wow,
He was
wow.
on shit, he was smoking, he was on crack.
Yeah, yeah,
So there would be times where, because I didn't even know about crack. I was like 18. I didn't know about crack and all them kind of
yeah.
things. But you understand what I'm saying? Because remember, I was growing up in a very restricted
Home,
household,
yeah.
right? I didn't know about street. It's only when I left, that's when I had to learn about road. You understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
But even when even when I was with my first proper boyfriend, and I say he was my first boyfriend, he was my first proper boyfriend, I noticed he would act a certain way when he smoked. And I'm thinking,
Wow.
what's he smoking? Because that stinks. Not knowing he's smoking crack and it's clock. Okay, this is a
Wow.
I tried to hide it, and that's when man tried to rough me up. You know what I'm saying?
What?
So it was just a mad thing. Man kicks me out the yard, naked, get out of my house, because he think I'm on the phone to the next man, and all this mad. It was drama, like bare
Wow.
madness. But I stayed with him. I stayed with him when he went jail. And then
Wow.
halfway through him being in jail, that's when I said, nah, I met somebody else and I gave him a Dare John. And he was still bullying me up.
Wow. That's deep. That's
Yeah.
deep.
So
And
it was
that's the
a
thing
mad
you don't
thing.
even realize. And that's the thing I think you don't even realize the level and how much it plays an impact and it plays a part. And now we have to unlearn
Yeah.
all that we've learned just so that we can survive.
Become a good.
Survive.
But you know what? It's to become like for me, it's more focusing on being okay with me
Yeah.
and knowing I'm all right, I'm good enough.
Yes.
And that's
And
where
knowing
it's
you're enough, knowing that you're
and
great, you're
that's the
worthy.
place where I'm at right now. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's
I
why I
love that.
say to people, it's so important to get the therapy that you need, because
Yeah.
there's so many broken people out there. And it's going back to what you were saying in regards to, you know, like people not being mature because people don't want to take accountability.
Yeah.
So it's like we're all flawed.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to judge anybody out here on these streets, because I know that I'm a mess. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I can own my mess. I can put my hand and say, you know what? I acted kind of mad here. This is the reason why. I'm not even waiting for you to justify. I'm just telling you about me. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's not my problem. Me is my responsibility. I can't be responsible for nobody else.
I love
you understand what I'm saying?
And
And this is where I'm at. And that's where I'm at. And that's where we're all supposed to be at. But for some reason, people don't want to take responsibility out in these streets.
Yeah,
Men
and
and women.
you know what? And I think that that's just the space of maturity, and that's a space of growth, and that's a space of us just taking the space, taking back that, like you said, that responsibility, that actually who I am and who I become, even though my parents may have framed or may have had a part in it, they don't dictate exactly what I will be and who I can be. But girl,
Yeah.
I got to go because my husband is home and he hungry. But I love
Yeah.
y'all.
You see, ladies, this is the things that we have to go through if you're a wife. I'm not a wife, so you know what?
Listen,
If I don't
so
eat,
I can come back
all
on. I'm
good.
gonna be in the comments, but I got to.
Okay.
I got to. But I love you guys. You amazing.
Love,
I'm
I'm coming on. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's do
Bye,
this.
guys.
Bye. See ya. Okay, so guys, we're gonna wrap up. We're going to wrap up. You want to jump on? I don't even feel that we need to even do anything because listen, it was. What's this? Love your fam. This was good. Okay, thanks, ladies. Oh, what? El Cuisine, another place. Miss Pedro. Pedro, you want to come on the live? Pedro, do you want to come on the live? Linda, do you want to come on the live? I beg. I'm going to send you a request, yeah? So you can tell people what are going in it. Like, what do you do, etc. whilst we're here. I know, Rachel, no need, yeah, for real. Yeah. Oh, okay, so no one doesn't want to come on the live. Well, it looks like the show's done then, guys. So next week, same place, 9 o'clock, by the will of God. And do join me and Janelle this Friday. The girls are going to be at iLive UK, changing the way you listen to radio. We're going to be throwing down some tunes. We've got an amazing guest, Kianja, songwriter, singer. She's going to be joining us in the studio. So guys, please do come on board. We're going to take you on a drive time journey from 4 to 7 p.m. So make sure you, what was I going to say? Make sure you, make sure you connect with us this Friday. And also, we won Best Talk Show on iLive UK. So thank you guys for nominating us. Your vote made us win. And we are so grateful to be able to do our platform on iLive UK radio station. So guys, you know, thank you so much. Please do follow. If you're not following Now Chat Show, why not? It's not even cost you a thing. It's free. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel because guess what? It's free. Make sure you give the thumbs up because guess what? It's free. Leave some comments below because guess what? It's free. And I will see you guys on Friday. So join me, Janelle, this Friday at iLive UK, 4 to 7 p.m. And make sure you have subscribed to all our social medias. Until then, peace out. Bye for now. Laters.